Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel, and welcome back to another episode of the San Diego Padres rebuild here on MLB The Show 24. That is correct. We are back, and unfortunately, we are not back on top of the baseball world because last episode we had ourselves a good old-fashioned postseason. But it was not to be. We lost in the NLDS in five... No, not in the NLDS, excuse me, the NLCS in 5 games to the Phillies. It was unfortunate. We just, for some reason, could not figure out how to pitch. I mean, we got blown out 12-4. The bats never really showed up. I mean, we were putting up okay runs, but our pitching staff was just getting shelled. So this offseason is going to be very, very important. I do think Luis Castillo was a good addition to the squad, so I'm happy he's here. Unfortunately, I was going to say, I thought his contract was up, but no, he's extended for a while coming over from Seattle. So that is that's useful. So he was a really, really good addition. I'm happy we had him on the team. Corbin Burnes was good, but sucked, if you feel me. Then you got Shane Bieber, who got destroyed in that game. He was the pitcher that had the 12 runs against with the Phillies. So Bieber got killed for some reason. Detmers was bad, and then Dylan Cease. Don't even get me started on Dylan Cease. I already said in the last episode that Dylan Cease was in the doghouse, and there's no way coming back from the doghouse when you're in the doghouse for me. So Dylan Cease is out of here. He is gone. If you want to take a look at all the awards and everything like that, go back and watch the last episode. We did all that at the beginning of that episode, and then obviously at the end of that episode. So go back and watch all of that if you care about it. Let's get to the offseason, though. Let's get to the offseason where we can figure out officially how to fix this team, because we got to get to the postseason. Retirements, though, Andrew McCutchen retires, Justin Verlander retires, probably a Hall of Fame for Verlander. I would say in real life, McCutchen probably doesn't. I mean, I don't know. That's pretty tough. Not a first ballot, absolutely not, but maybe he gets in like his 6th or 7th try. I don't know. I feel like McCutchen could be, you could make an argument he's a Hall of Famer. Same kind of deal with Longoria, not a first ballot guy, but you could make an argument he makes it in. Verlander certainly a first ballot. Gurriel also retires, so a couple names in here, but nothing too crazy. Verlander and Scherzer both make the Hall. Good for them. Good for them. We only have one exclusive free agent, and that is Lane Thomas. Well, good news, buddy. You are going to get a contract extension 6 years, because that makes it a little bit more team-friendly in terms of trading him in the future. $8.5 million. He will accept that. So that budget is 58.2 before his contract accepts, which will take it down to about 50 million. So Dylan Cease is our 4th highest paid player. He's gone. We can already knock off that 19 million. Luis Castillo, I don't know. We're paying 4 of our pitchers. Our 4 highest paid players are 4 pitchers. That's kind of crazy. Christian Walker, we'll have to figure out with, because remember, this is the Vladimir Guerrero free agency, so I was talking about possibly moving Christian Walker to DH and then moving Gleyber Torres to another position. Campusano is going to get either traded or just moved to the bench. I don't know, because we're going to start with Ethan Salas for the first time. He's going to get the start. So I'm excited about that. We need to figure out third base, which we could figure out in this free agency. And we lost our manager. I thought that we had him locked up for a couple. He might have retired, though. I don't remember. Excuse me, I don't remember what his age was, or even who our manager was, to be honest with you. But we will try to find somebody new. Who do I want? We got to get somebody that has, obviously, A attribute grade and somebody that doesn't have any negatives going after him. So I don't want to go -1 arm strength. +3 on velocity could be cool, but he has -2 on the arm strength. Robbie Fleming has +2 velocity. Doesn't really matter that much. +3 stamina is not that big of a deal. Plate vision kind of important, so we don't want to minus that. I don't know. There's not really that many good manager options, are there? We might have to just bite the bullet. This one, Rolando McQueen, is not that bad. It doesn't give us anything too beneficial, but he's one of the first ones that doesn't look that bad. We might have to just take a guy that has like a -1 in something that doesn't really matter. Like this -1 arm strength probably not that bad, and he's only 39. Michael Cohen, he's only 39. You know what? I'll give Michael Cohen a shot. We won't give him too crazy of a contract. 3 years is fine. We can always fire him. But we will give him a $6 million contract, and hopefully he will accept that. And that should be our only offer. Yeah, so everybody else is locked up for 2 seasons. So in 2 seasons, we're going to have to fix our entire staff. That's kind of crazy. But we will hopefully get that coach or manager signed, and then Lane Thomas will presumably accept his offer. Yes, Michael Cohen right there. So we are on the cutting edge. We now have a 39-year-old coach or 39-year-old manager. I'm pretty sure there's people in the league right now that are older than this man, and he's managing the team. So he's got a big, tough task. He's got to fix the team. He's got to get to the postseason again and get to the NLCS and actually win it and get to the World Series. So he's got a big task ahead of him. I believe in him. That's why we signed him. Lane Thomas has not accepted his offer just yet. This is the last day to offer the qualifying deals, but we don't have any qualifying offers. So let's open up free agency. Here we go. Here we go. It is the Vladdy Jr. class. I've been talking about how I want to sign Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to add him to the team. He'd be at first base. Who's this guy that's missing? Oh, it's Lane Thomas. Oops. I talked about how I wanted to add Vladdy to first base. Then that would move Christian Walker to the DH spot, which we'd have to move Glaber somewhere. We're not moving Nolan Gorman because he just doesn't have... I would put him at third base, but his arm is just not that good. We need somebody that has a decent arm at third base because you obviously got to make those tough throws. And I would just easily move Glaber there, but his arm sucks worse than Nolan Gorman's does. So what we could do is we could move Gunnar Henderson to third base and then have Glaber, for the moment, play shortstop, I guess. Do I want Glaber playing shortstop? Do I like that? I don't really know what I want to do. Because Gunnar at third base probably isn't that bad of an option. But I just don't know. I don't know what I want to do with Glaber. I like Glaber. I really think he could work with the team, but maybe we end up having to move him. Maybe we have to trade him. We could probably get something decent for him. I will go through and tender all the contracts off camera because it looks like there's a lot of them. So I will get that done pretty quickly. And then I'll also do the arbitration, but I'm going to bring all these guys back so it's not that big of a deal. And we have currently $58 million, right? Oh, no, 52 because it looks like somebody signed there. Oh, no, I think when we moved on, the years are now added on, so somebody's making a little bit more than they originally were. So now that money is now added on. $52 million. We can really only go after Vladdy if we do that. Is that the right option? Do we need a new starting pitcher? Well, if we're going to get a new starting pitcher, it'll probably be with the trade of Dylan Cease, not a signing. Because we send Dylan Cease away. We probably have to wait a little bit. Brian Bello, I do like Brian Bello. He's coming off of a rough season, but maybe he's the guy. We'll keep an eye on him. He could be a guy. He's only 26 years old. Garrett Cole would be fun, but he's always way too expensive. Who else do I even want to go after? Not a lot of these guys have any ability to go after because they're not under contract just yet. Cole Reagan's at 28. Pablo Lopez, Hunter Brown. We could go after Hunter Brown. He's coming off of a really, really good season. Do I want to go after Hunter Brown? I don't know. It's probably either Hunter Brown or Brian Bello. Those are probably the two options. Now, Bello's an 87, and Brown is an 87. Bello is 26, Brown's 27. Bello had a little bit of a rough season. Brown had a worse year in terms of ERA and whip, but he won more games. Maybe that's just he just had a better team around him than Bello did. So maybe Bello is a better player in the long run. I think I kind of want to get Bello. So maybe we send him to we send Cease to the Red Sox, his second pair of socks, and then we bring in Brian Bello. We don't have to throw in that much either. We just toss in some scrub like Roberto Mitre, or no, Cole Cummings. We'll throw him in since he's bad. So yeah, we could do this trade right away. Boom, splash addition. Dylan Cease headed to the Red Sox, and we get Brian Bello, who's got a lot of room to grow. And he's fairly cheap for right now. We got him locked up for 3 more seasons, so that's pretty cool. And we got a lot of youngsters ready to go waiting in the wings. We'll just have to figure out what we want to do. I'm still super upset with Corbin Burns because he did not pitch very well at the end of the year, which is kind of frustrating. I don't know why he didn't. Garrett Cole. You look at that. Garrett Cole and Shane Bieber. Or Shane Bieber and Corbin Burns can't even get you Garrett Cole. That's kind of crazy. What about Shane McClanahan? I kind of want Shane McClanahan, don't I? I kind of do. If I could toss Corbin Burns for Shane McClanahan, I mean, that would be the ideal situation. What would I have to give up? Probably one of these top prospects, right? It probably has to be Detmers or Job. I'd be okay with giving up Job, possibly. Don't want to give up Eldridge Sanchez. I might be okay giving up Jackson Job. I'd have to give up 2. They want me to give up 2 top prospects. Well, I'm not going to do that. Am I okay giving up Jackson Job? He didn't pitch amazing in the first season when he had the chance to start, but he didn't really have a lot of team around him. Maybe we give him Reed Detmers. Do I trust Reed Detmers? He pitched better this year. A lot better this year. So maybe he's getting a chance to grow. That's a possibility. Do I want to develop any of these youngsters? I mean, we have 4 really, really good young guys under 25. One of these pitchers probably has to go to Tampa. Is Noble Meyer the guy that I trust? I kind of want Jacob Mizorowski around, so we'll keep him around. It's between, I think, Robbie Snelling or Noble Meyer. I don't know which one it's going to be. It might have to be Robbie Snelling. I think we give up Robbie Snelling, top 50 prospect, but we're getting back Shane McClanahan, so I guess it's a good deal. And then what else do we have to give up? Probably somebody of a C potential or higher. I don't want to give up Leandro Arias because I think he could have some potential. Don't want to give up William Yan. He's one of our draft picks, even though he does suck. Oh, I wish I could give up Oscar Mercado. I would certainly pull the trigger on that. Definitely not Mariano Alfonso. Who gets it done? Who gets it done? Ken Flynn does, but I'm not giving up Ken Flynn. I have a lot of deep potential guys, don't I? I don't really have a lot of depth on the minor league system when it comes to good overall or good potentials. I don't want to give up Joe Adell. Joe Adell was actually pretty good for us last year. Everybody that's got a B potential or better is somebody I don't want to give up. And, of course, Robert Perez, they don't want him either. Why can't I give up 4 players? Who do I want to give up? Who is the guy? Is it this guy, Matthew Baton? I guess it doesn't matter because it wouldn't get it done anyway. Who is the guy that gets this across the board? Maybe it's another pitcher? Not Justin Donnellan. Ooh, Nolan Watson gets it across. They really are interested in him. I might have to be Nolan Watson. 23C potential. I've got Justin Donnellan and Eldridge Sanchez below him, so you know what? I'm fine with that. If it gets a Shane McClanahan, Corbin Burns, you served us well for a season, but you sucked in the postseason. Not as bad as Dylan Cease, but you did suck. And Shane Bieber sucked in his one game too, but he had a really good regular season. So Shane McClanahan, welcome to the squad. Oh my God, we are crazy. Oh my God, we just added 2 new starting pitchers to the roster in some of the craziest moves of all time. Oh my God. We've got a new ace, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a new ace. Shane McClanahan now pitching for the San Diego Padres, and he's under arbitration for the next 2 seasons. So we are Gucci gang. He's not going to be that expensive. And Bello, we already got him locked up for $9 million. So let's take a look at the budget after that. That leaves us with $86 million. Bieber and Castillo are still the most expensive guys. But remember, Castillo's only a quote-unquote rental because we don't know. I don't know if I want to keep him around. We'll see how he pitches in the regular season, but we can move him at the deadline if we have to. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen? But now that we've got that figured out, we freed up so much more money. We can make the move for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It's going to cost us a draft pick in the end, but I think that is going to be worth it. I'll give him a 4-year deal, so it's not locking us up for too much, and we'll go for probably $32 million a year. I think that'll be a perfect little contract. We're going to lose a draft pick, but I don't care. So that Vladdy contract is probably going to be the only one we go after because I don't need any of these pitchers. I don't need any of this. Do I need to change the bullpen? Do I like the bullpen? Oops. I mean, the bullpen's kind of up and down. Oh, that's right. Johan Duran absolutely sucked this year. In terms of the postseason, he got crushed. So maybe we move on from Johan. And there's only one guy that I would go for. And it's this man right here, Emmanuel Clase. He's a little cheaper, too. And we can give up another closing pitcher in Matt Festa. You know what? I'm down for that. Boom! Emmanuel Clase headed to the boys. We are really going crazy this season, or this postseason. Emmanuel Clase, our new closing pitcher. I like Clay Holmes, but I don't really like the rest of this bullpen. I like Matsui. He's a good pitcher, but I don't think Wandy Peralta is going to get the job done. I certainly don't think Patino is going to get the job done, so maybe we got to go after some bullpen arms. Maybe a guy like Michael Kopech. How good did he do? He had 40 saves last year. He pitched okay, nothing spectacular. 40 saves is interesting. Maybe we toss a little offer at Michael Kopech and maybe a little offer at Matt Strahm. Dude looks like freaking Nick Cage. Maybe we go after Matt Strahm as well. He had a really good year, actually. I think I'll throw a little cheeky offer at these two guys. Maybe a little 4-year deal for Strahm. We can't be committed that much. $6 million a year, and then we go after Kopech as well. 5-year deal for Kopech. We give him about $4 million. $4 million a season, and hopefully he accepts both of that. And then closing pitchers, Devin Williams. Wow. Ryan Helsley also is a really good option. Both had, oh my God, Devin. I think he won an award, didn't he? He didn't win. He didn't win reliever of the year. I could have sworn he did. I mean, this is a crazy season. This is I mean, his whip is a little bit higher than it should be, but it's a really, really good season regardless. And Helsley pitched really well too. Oh my God, Helsley, did he win the? No, he didn't win the award either. I don't know who won reliever of the year. I forget, but he also had a pretty solid season. So I think we have to throw an offer at Devin Williams. I mean, we'd be stupid not to, right? We would be stupid not to throw an offer at Devin Williams. Maybe even throw an offer at freaking Ryan Helsley. Completely change this bullpen. Completely change this bullpen. Now, we do have to be careful. We have $60 million, $60.5 million in available budget. And we still have tender contracts and offer salary arbitration. So we have to be careful. We can't get ahead of ourselves too much. I think that's going to be all the offers that I do right now until I get the arbitration and the contracts figured out. Then we can come back, we can reassess, and we can figure out how much money we have left to work with. So I'm going to go do all this stuff. I'm going to do the contracts. I'm going to do the arbitration, and I'll come back when I got all that figured out. Okay, got it all done. I've offered all of the contracts that have been tendered. I have done all the salary arbitration, and bad news, we have more pending offers than available budget, so we're going to have to let somebody go in actual free agency. I think it might have to be Michael Kopech. It's got to be one of the bullpen guys, right? Maybe it's, you know what? we could bring one of these guys back, and then this is where we send Glaber away, since we don't really have a plan for Glaber. Maybe this is how we get our third baseman. Maybe we trade Glaber for a third baseman. This is possible. What about Rafael Devers? No, it's not. That's not gonna. I mean, we could get Rafael Devers. That'd be pretty fun. But Glaber's got value. We got to use this value. Got to capitalize on this value. Who is the person that we can get? Austin Riley, Alex Bregman. Who is it going to be? It's got to be somebody earth-shattering. But there's not really that many earth-shattering third basemen in the league right now, are there? I mean, it's not like it used to be, like Manny Machado and Nolan Arenado and all these guys. Like, Machado's old now and sucks, and we got rid of him already. How did he do? He had 32 home runs, 89 RBIs, hit 289. He had a better year than he did in last year with us, so good for him. Got to be happy. Got to be happy that he had a decent year. Michael Garcia. It's got to be somebody that makes a splash. Who makes a splash? Alec Bohm, I'm pretty sure, is in the home run derby this year in real life. Only 20 home runs, though. He's at 83 overall at 29. Not really the splash I'm looking for. Who is it? Who is that splash? Ke'Bryan Hayes? Is Ke'Bryan Hayes the guy? He didn't really hit the ball for power that much. Kind of had a down year. He's already 29. Is that really? When did he come in the league? I remember him coming up. It was only 2020. Oh, my God. He's an old rookie. He was a really old rookie. I guess I didn't realize how old he was. Who's it going to be, big dog? Who's it going to be? It can't be Matt Chapman. This guy wasn't good for years until this year, 2019. But I think that was also the year they had... Isn't that also the year they had Olsen? Matt Olsen as well? And they were just, like, banging out. They were banging each other. Is it Rafael Devers? Is he the guy? No, he's too expensive. He's locked up forever, though. But I've never really had Rafael Devers on my team. I don't think. But this wouldn't make any sense, because this is... We free up a lot of money here. That gets to $90 million, but making Rafael Devers the guy is not the right move. So I think... you know what? Let's hold off on the Glaber trade for right now. Let's go and see if we actually sign anybody first before we start making drastic changes. So nobody has signed with us. Kind of wild. We are getting rid of all these. All these guys are accepting perfect. The arbitration guys won't accept just yet because obviously arbitration, they wait till the very end. Free agency, we're still waiting. Vladdy, Devin, Strom. Oh wait, did we get? We must have got one of them. All right, yeah, Kopech signed. Okay, perfect. So that's a little bit of addition to the bullpen. I like that. Is there anybody else before I go too crazy? Is there anybody else that I absolutely have to have? I don't think there is. No, I mean, Kyle Tucker's cool, but we certainly don't have the money for that. So let's continue on. And Will Smith, the Fresh Prince, is headed to the Phillies on a 5-year, $65 million deal. Devin Williams, 6 years, $60 million to the Padres, and Vladdy signs. So we make two big splash deals. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is headed to San Diego. Huge addition to the squad. He now becomes the first baseman. Christian Walker moves into DH spot, which is honestly probably better for him. At least he'll be the DH versus lefties. Maybe we can keep Glaber and he can be the DH. They both are only good against lefties. So Christian Walker probably has to be the DH just for lefties. But maybe for right now he's going to be the DH for both. But until we figure out what we want to do. But Vladdy at first base. Christian Walker now goes to DH. And then we need to figure out what we do. Look at the pitch rotation now. So the pitch rotation now adds Devin Williams to an already good bullpen. We have Kopech now. We can get rid of Patino and Peralta. And then this bullpen looks a lot better. So let's keep on moving on. But now we have $32 million. We are so close. If we cut bait with Patino and Peralta, instead of just cutting them, can I just trade them? Peralta and Patino. They're actually pretty expensive. I don't know why they're so expensive, but they're actually pretty expensive. So can I get just some young prospects? I guess I could try. We can get nobody worth anything, really, except for this 22-year-old, but he's 48 overall. Bob Davino. Nah, all the prospects we're going to be able to get are not worth anything. So looks like we're either going to have to make our own trade or just cut these guys outright. What am I going to be able to get? I want to get a bullpen guy because that makes the most sense. I don't want to run too low on bullpen depth. So let's try to toss in some prospects here. Who is a good guy? Buff Meadows? Now that's a name. That is quite the name, but he is very valuable apparently, at least with these guys on the other side of things. Trevor Rogers is possible, but I don't want to go for Trevor Rogers. Mainly because he's got arbitration. That's just another guy we have to pay arbitration to. But we could come back around to him if I can't find anything else. What else is there? Abner Uribe. We've already done that experiment with the Bolts, so I'm not going to go down that path again. Let's see. There's got to get some variety in here. There's got to be young. Why is there never any young bullpen arms coming up in the systems? Like, what's going on here? Where are all the youngsters? Derek Bowers? What's his pitch mix? He's got 3 pitches. They don't look that good. He kind of sucks. He's not the guy. He's not the guy, but Sheldon Manuel could be. You know what? It might be a better option to just go for like a youngster closer because there's always these guys. And then we just turn one into a relief pitcher? Maybe that's a better option. Although these prospects might be a little bit more difficult to grab. We could go for Jesse Hale. He's got not a lot of good options, but he could be the guy that we go for. And we got Anthony Marlin, 5'10", 18 years old, got a lot of room to develop. He's got really good velocity. He throws heat. Those straight gas. He's got good walks per 9 and good home runs per 9. His control's not great. Or his clutch is not great. I mean, his control's not great either, but his clutch is not great. He's an option. Then we got Romeo Stark, who has really good K per 9, good enough velocity, good break. He's already a 67 overall. This might be our guy, Romeo Stark. But then you got Roger Ryder. Looks a little bit worse. Romeo Stark might be our guy. You know what? Let's commit to Romeo Stark. So we've got him. We're going to trade Peralta and Patino. And then we also have to throw in something else because they're not going to work if we don't. So we just got to go down the list and see what... Oh, here we go. But I don't really want to lose my second base depth. So maybe a shortstop would be better. They want William Yan, but I don't want to give up William Yan. I would give up Oscar Mercado, but we just offer an arbitration, so can't do that. Pearson, I don't want to give up just yet. Perez, Drew Campbell. We could give up Perez. Oh, but I thought we could snag Roger Ryder too. Is there a bullpen arm we could get? Oh, this is the Trevor Rogers deal. He's on the Marlins. Maybe there's somebody else that we could grab then. If I toss in Bo Hall, I don't want to give up Bo Hall though. He's one of our drafted guys. He is only deep potential, but he's really fast. I forgot about that. He's really fast. Joe Adele, Shane Bagley. A lot of our drafted guys have decent value, which is nice to know. Like William Yan gets this done. Leandro Arias also gets it done. And we could toss in Roger Ryder if we threw in Leandro. But do I want to do this? I mean, I'd be getting 3 bullpen arms. Really just Trevor Rogers for the now, and then these 2 guys would be in the future. And it's not like Leandro Arias has any future because we have DeVries, we have William Yan, we have Mason Wynn. Like, we have a lot of people ahead of him, so this might make the most sense. Let me just go around and keep making sure that there's no other option that would be better for us. Rosario doesn't even get it done. Is there any first baseman? Probably not. All these guys kind of suck with their value, don't they? I'm not giving up Basalo, that's for sure. It looks like it's just going to be... what's his face? Arias. And I think I'm okay with letting him go. Like I said, he's a good player. He's a nice prospect to have in the system. But he's got so much traffic ahead of him. It's going to be hard to get a start. So... And the Marlins, their shortstop position is very weak. He could probably start pretty soon. He's the 3rd best player in their shortstop system. So he's probably got a better shot at starting in Miami than he does here in San Diego. So boom, 3 bullpen arms. Gets rid of 2 bullpen arms. And I think that freed up enough money to be able to sign everybody, right? Because, yeah, now we have available budget of $38 million, so we don't have to worry about money anymore. And we still have the Glaber deal if we have to. So Trevor Rogers stays around. He'll stay up in the big leagues. And then these two guys will be moved to the relief pitcher role. General, turn him into a relief pitcher. Secondary pitcher, obviously can't do that. Accept and change. Do they go in overalls? Roger Ryder's a 68 overall. And then Romeo Stark. Edit player. And then move him to bullpen. And Romeo Stark becomes a top 50 prospect at bullpen, or a relief pitcher. So, boom. Love that. We just added 2 studly bullpen arms for the future. Plus Trevor Rogers. So, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And those guys could, if I move one of them to AA, probably Stark. Let's move Stark to AA for a season. Because then he can just go and play in closing pitcher for the AA squad. So, that works out. But now if we go to the pitching rotation, we've got ourselves quite the team. We can always move Jackson Jobe down. I just have him in long relief just in case. But now that we have Trevor Rogers, we might not need Jackson Jobe in long relief. But we've got, oh my God, we've got a great bullpen now. We've got a great freaking bullpen, man. Love it. Hopefully this bullpen helps out. Okay, so now with all that being done, let's continue on. All we have is Lane Thomas and Matt Strahm left to sign deals. So we'll see if they do. 40-man roster time. Cody Bellinger traded from the Cubs to the Twins in a massive 1-for-1 deal. Edward Julian going to the Cubs for Cody Bellinger. A wild 1-for-1 deal. You don't really see a lot of those. Absolutely crazy 1-for-1. I have to offer Trevor Rogers now because he's on our team now, so we have to give him an arbitration offer. There we go. Good thing I saw that. All right, that's a... it also now it says Cody Bellinger and Owen Casey. So it looks like the Cubs gave up 2 players to get Julian, so it wasn't a straight-up 1-for-1. Interesting. Very, very interesting. We just need Lane Thomas. Oh, he did sign. Okay, perfect. So Lane Thomas is back at left field. And now we just need to figure out this third base position. If we can figure out this third base position, which I'm still thinking is going to be Gunnar Henderson. But I'm not sold just yet. I'm not sold just yet because we still have the offer of getting, what's-his-face? We have the offer of getting Rafael Devers. So we have to hold on. And it looks like everybody signed, right? Because I don't have any offers in free agency. So... signed players. Matt Strahm signed. Beautiful. And then who was the other guy we were waiting on? Oh, it was Lane Thomas, and he already signed. We saw that. So the pitch rotation, or the bullpen is now completely full. We got to get rid of some guys. So it looks like I'm probably going to move definitely Jackson Jobe back down to AAA. That just makes the most sense. So we're going to move Jackson Jobe down to AAA. Him, Mazeroski, and Noble Meyer will be our top pitchers, along with Donaldson and Sanchez. Those will be our AAA lineup. I like that a lot. And now the bullpen is stacked. I could probably even do with moving somebody else down. We have all these guys have options, so we can move. We can be very flexible with our who we move up and down. And it might have to be this man right here. I know he hasn't been in the bigs for very long, but he had a really good season last year. I don't know. It's probably going to be Crosgrove if I think about it. Probably have to move him down. So let's move him down to AAA. Tom Crosgrove goes down, and then we move a bullpen guy down to Class A, I guess, just to kind of free it up. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. Oops. Who did I just move? It was... I don't remember who I just moved. I think it was this guy, but I don't remember. I meant to move a AAA guy down to AA. So let's take this guy and move him to AA. That's what I meant to do. Who was? I think it was this guy. I'm just going to move him back up because I can't remember who exactly it was. But I think it was that guy. I don't remember, though. Okay, so now we're looking pretty darn sexy. We are looking pretty darn sexy with this team. We still have all these arbitration deals to make. We have, 42 players on the 40-man. We can make that happen. We can get rid of Bryce Johnson, absolutely. Take him off. And then we can get rid of Clay Dungan as well. Boom. Fixed. And I can also get rid of Matthew Baton. You know, I just do that right now. Matthew Baton off the 40-man. Who else gets off the 40-man? Probably Morjan also gets put off the 40-man. So now we have 2 spots open in case you want to do some craziness. So let's keep moving. Today's the last day to offer salary arbitration. I think I've offered all that. Yeah, everybody here has been offered. Contracts are all done. I need to make sure that the 40-man roster is who I want. So we need to make sure that anybody here... Do I care about Ken Flynn and William Yon? I definitely care about Romeo Stark. We got to add him to the 40-man. Only Major League Free agents may be added to the 40-man roster between... Uh-oh, I think I screwed it up. I definitely simulated a little bit too early. That might be my fault. We'll see what happens in the 40-man... or the Rule 5 draft. The Giants get Tommy Edman on a 5-year, $50 million deal. The Cubs are still pretty active, going after Ryan Helsley. So he stays in division. Former Cardinals relief pitcher now going to the Cubs. Very intriguing. Kyle Tucker is yet to sign. Tender contracts, we have all that done, so we can continue moving on. Kyle Tucker, there he is. And he goes to the Pirates on a 9-year, $224 million deal. Crazy. Here's the draft lottery. We have the 28th odds, and that's the pick we will have. We won't have very many picks because we signed a bunch of people that were qualified, so we're going to lose a lot of draft picks, but that's okay because we're going to be good. We're going to be going for championships. Who's going to win the draft lottery? It'll be the Tigers staying at 1. You don't really see a lot of teams in the lottery stay at the number 1 projection, but they did. Tigers have the number 1 pick, then the Rockies. Good for them. Good for them. And now it is time for the Rule 5 draft. Are we going to see any of our players go? Tucupita Marcano goes. He's a former player of ours. And we actually have a pick here. Am I going to take anybody? Probably not. We have a loaded team. But maybe there's a nice little prospect in here. There's no, like, amazing prospects. I was hoping for, like, a stud A potential prospect that we could, like, just stash on the Major League roster for a season, then put him down in the next year. But it doesn't look like I'm going to take anybody. But former Padre Tucupita Marcano, who we traded in 2024, I'm pretty sure. We traded him in 2024 because he's been suspended in real life for life. He's got a lifetime ban because he bet on baseball. And I think he bet on his own team, the Padres. So he's gone from real life, and we traded him away. It might have been last year. I don't remember, honestly. But now he's got a new job as a Tigers starting second baseman, or at least on the bench. So good for him, I guess. Good for him. But we are going to not take anybody. Yep, I'm not going to draft anybody in the Rule 5 draft. There's a couple prospects in there that had B potential that could be useful, but we have to keep them on our big league roster, and I don't really want to do that. So we already have a pretty stacked team. So getting into the new year, it's January. Zach Gallen headed to the Twin City. 6 years, $116 million. A lot of the top guys are now gone. Bo Bichette's still mulling over offers. Tigers, Angels, Rockies. Wilmer Flores, Willie Castro. Kershaw, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Man, Kershaw was so good. He was so good when he was on. He was on, bro. He was such a good pitcher. There's some names in here, but nothing that makes me want to spend any more money. We can't really spend any more money if you think about it. So let's just get to arbitration. Let's get to arbitration, then we can talk business. Ooh, another big trade. A huge trade, actually. The Mariners sent Andres Munoz to the Rangers for Jose Leclerc and Kumar Rocker. Wow. So the Rangers may be upgrading definitely in terms of overall, upgrading their closing pitcher position. A younger, higher overall closing pitcher, but they have to give up Kumar Rocker. Wild trade. Wild, wild trade. Bo Bichette finally agrees to a deal, and it's with the Angels. So he's going to go team up with Trout and hopefully try to help them get to the playoffs. 5 years, $75 million, and now it's time for arbitration. So the panel had sided with Detmers on that one. The panel sides with Abrams. Shocker. The panel sides with Adele. The panel sides with us, finally. 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 4. And the panel sides with Campusano. And the panel sides with McClanahan. So we only got... Oh, twice. They got it. Oh, fun. They sided with us for Mercado. The panel sided with us for 2 out of the 6 or whatever it was. That's kind of crazy. Or the 7, however many it was. So now we have everybody back. This team is kind of cool. It's just that third base position is the only position that we have left. McClanahan, our new ace. Man, I've wanted Shane McClanahan for so many years, and we finally have him. I'm so excited about this. And I'm excited about Bello. I'm excited about Castillo and Bieber. Detmers has another chance to grow. The bullpen's looking studly with the additions of Clase and Williams now. I mean, oh my God, I'm freaking horny right now. This is crazy. The bullpen looks so much better. And then the team, do we pull the trigger on the Rafael Devers trade? Because Glaber's now kind of just there. He can't play third base. I know it says he can, but he can't. His arm is a 42. He can't play third base. I think the smart thing to do is keep Gunnar Henderson at shortstop. I know we threw the idea out there about having him play third base, but I think the smartest idea is to keep him at shortstop. And maybe it's the 1-for-1. Maybe it's the Rafael Devers for Gleyber Torres. And now it can't happen because we have no money. So maybe I should have pulled the trigger earlier. Well, who's making obscene amounts of money that I can get rid of? Who's making money that shouldn't be making money? I mean, all these guys are making what they probably deserve. He's making 2. That doesn't really matter too much. That doesn't matter too much. It probably has to be Clay Holmes now that I think about it. It's not going to obviously be Devin Williams. Campusano doesn't make enough. You know what? That deal's out the window now because Devers makes too much. Devers simply makes too much money for us. So, and Gleyber doesn't make enough. So that is, we have to pivot now. Pivot! We have to go to a new thing, and it could be J-Ram. You know, I didn't think about it. It could be J-Ram, but it can't be J-Ram because he's too valuable. He's far too valuable. So it's not J-Ram. Well, that was the only other guy that I would really want. I mean, it can't be Royce Lewis. He's too valuable. Talk about valuable. He's way too valuable. Montenegro still hasn't signed yet. Austin Riley's an option, but he's too valuable. We might just have to stick with it, man. We might just have to stick with it. The Phillies are super in the negative. Christopher Morel, we have that experiment going with the Bolts. Nolan Arenado. There's the Key Brian Hayes offer. Does he really do it for me, though? I don't think so. I mean, he's not really, like, piquing the old interest, is he? I'm not really sure what I want to do. Is there any second baseman that can play shortstop or can play third base? Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Maybe there's a second baseman that I can move to third base. The Seaman? Marcus Semien? No, he's too expensive. Albies would be cool, but he can't play third base. Nico, Bryson Stott. There's the Cubs guy, Julian, who just got traded there. Brendan Donovan, Bogarts. We sent Bogarts away already. He's now been in Seattle. Or not Seattle, in St. Louis, I mean. Ketel Marte. No. Doesn't look like there's any second basemen that get the job done or that pique the interest. What about shortstops? There's got to be somebody here. Somebody here that I like enough. Like Ellie De La Cruz. But we get Ellie De La Cruz all the time. He's one of my favorite players in baseball right now, but we get him too much. We got to stay away from him. Willie Adames, O'Neal Cruz. O'Neal Cruz is cool. Garrett Hampson, Mookie. Mookie's far too expensive. Trevor Story is too expensive. Anthony Volpe. He can play third base, but do I want to go down that path? I think I want a more established guy. I mean, we have Colt Keith. It's not like we have a young. We don't need a young prospect. Basically, we already have that. We need a guy that's ready to go right now. And who that guy is, I don't know. I don't know if there is a guy that's ready to go right now. Frankie Lindor's way too expensive. Trey Turner's way too expensive. Dan's baby Swanson's way too expensive. Oh my God, I didn't think it'd be this difficult to try to find a replacement third baseman. I should have just pulled the trigger on that deal with Devers when I had the chance. Yeah, maybe it would have meant we couldn't bring in somebody in free agency, but we had the opportunity. And I'm doing all this. I don't have to trade for another third baseman. Colt Keith can be the guy. It's just I wanted somebody more established at the position, somebody with a higher overall right away, because we're trying to win championships. Don't forget it. And I just can't in good consciousness place Glaber at third base. It just doesn't make any sense. He has no arm. He can't play. His fielding's decent enough to play the position, but he can't throw the baseball. He doesn't have an arm. So I just can't in good consciousness play him at third base and hope that he has a good season. It just can't happen. Unless it can. Jeremy Pena? Jeremy Pena could be an option. I didn't think about this. Jeremy Pena might be a good option. He's not that expensive. He's got another year of arbitration. Maybe it's Jeremy Pena. Maybe we go after him. You know what? I didn't think about that. He's had good years. He's coming off of his best year since 2023. His best year in terms of just pure stats, pure numbers. Maybe Jeremy Pena's the guy. For at least right now. Jeremy Pena for Glaber? And then I toss in somebody else. Probably like one of these losers, like Oscar Mercado. I mean, this deal works. Is this what I want to do? Do I want to pull the trigger, get rid of Glaber Torres, who I do like, but he's just not, he can't play third base. If he can just play third base and play it well, we wouldn't have to worry. But because he can't play third freaking base, Jeremy Pena might be the guy. His arm is a lot better. Well, I shouldn't say a lot better. It's better. It's viable to play third base. His durability is great, so he won't get hurt very often. He's pretty fast. He's got good contact versus lefties. His power is not as good as Glaber's is, but he's a better contact hitter. I think this is the deal, because obviously Gorman's going to play second base. Then Keith can just ride the bench for a season or two. Glaber, you served us well, but we now have our third baseman. We now have our third baseman, and we need to make him a third baseman. So we will change his... Oops. Wait, did I pass it? Oh, there it is. Okay, third base. Perfect. He now moves to third base. And why do we now have more than one guy on... Why do we have more than one guy on the Major League roster now? We don't have a lot of outfield depth, do we? Wyatt Langford's got all the outfield depth. We probably should have Joe Adell back up in the bigs, because he played pretty well when he was up here. So Joe Adell probably should be in the big leagues. You know what? Let's do that right now. Joe Adell's coming back up. But now we have to cut it down. So who gets cut down? Probably Mason Wynn for a season. Mason Wynn probably drops down to AAA. And then we need to cut down somebody else. And it's probably got to be a bullpen arm. Because you don't have any other options, do we? Tatis obviously is not going anywhere. Merrill's not going anywhere. We just moved up Adele. And Langford's not going anywhere. So it's probably got to be a bullpen guy, because I'm not moving anybody else. So who gets tossed in the bullpen? It's probably end up coming back to Go. He's probably going to have to go down. He's probably have to go down to AAA. Funny. I know I'm funny. Let's just move him down there for now. I mean, that's the whole reason why we built this bullpen up to where it is now. I mean, look at this bullpen. It's such a better bullpen than what it was. Hopefully it actually delivers on the diamond. But that is one of the craziest free agencies, or just off seasons in general, we've had in a long time. Spring training comes to a halt here. Last day to renew contracts. I'm pretty good. Yep, we got everybody back. Some guys didn't sign contracts. And here it is. Spring training is upon us. Next episode will be opening day of season number 3. Hopefully, we got a new manager. He's only 39 years old. We've got a new ace in Shane McClanahan. And we've got a new lineup with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Some big additions to the squad. And before we end, I need to actually make the switch for Jeremy Pena to play third base. There we go. I don't really have an option for right-handed DH, do I? Who's like our best power hitter on right-handed DH? Maybe Colt Keith? You know what? Let's give Colt Keith some shine in right-handed DHs against right-handed pitchers, because he hits better than... Actually, Christian Walker actually does hit better than, than Cole Keith does it against righties, but we'll still give Cole Keith the chance to get some stats in DHing so that he can still try to develop a little bit, because Christian Walker's already, 35? Yeah, 35. So, boom. I'll fix this lineup. I don't think I need to change too much, but I'll move Keith back down to where he was. Oops. We'll move Keith back down to where he was. I want Guerrero to hit 3rd. Gorman hits 4. I want Tatis to hit 5. Pena, Merrill, Salas, and Keith. And then on this one, I want Merrill hitting 1. Probably. Maybe. Guerrero hits 3. Gorman hits 4. Tatis hits 2. You know what? Tatis leads off this time. Tatis leads off. Then Merrill. Then Walker. Gunnar is our number 6. Pena will be our number 9, our second leadoff guy. Then we'll have Campusano and Thomas. I think that's pretty good. We'll see how that works. We can always adjust as we need to. But that is going to be the offseason. Next episode, debuting Shane McClanahan, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and the rest of the squad in season number 3 opening day. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much. Stop by and watch. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.